People, let me tell you what happened in one family that shocked everybody. You see, sometimes wickedness does not come from strangers. It comes from the very people we call our blood. This story happened in a small village in Amira State, where a poor farmer had 3 sons and 2 daughters. Nobody ever believed that this man, a father of 5, would one day become the reason his own child's life was wasted. In the quiet village of Amofia, Amira State, there lived a man named Edward. He was a farmer, a father of 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. Life wasn't easy for them. They lived from hand to mouth, but somehow they managed to push through. One unfortunate day, tragedy struck the family. The second son, David, a bright young boy of just 17 years, suddenly developed a kidney problem. It started with frequent body pains and swelling of his legs. The family thought it was just ordinary sickness, so they took him to a local chemist. But the more they tried, the worse it got. The father, Edward, in his desperation, dragged the boy from one hospital to another, and when money ran out, he even took him to herbalists, hoping for a miracle. Still, nothing changed. The family was drowning in sorrow because they didn't have enough to pay for proper treatment. It was during one of these hospital visits that luck seemed to shine on them. A stranger noticed their situation and decided to connect them to an online humanitarian. One of those people who raise money for sick patients through social media. The humanitarian listened to their story, took pictures of David, and posted everything online, begging good-hearted Nigerians to contribute for the boy's treatment. The donations started trickling in, then flowing like a river. Within weeks, millions of naira had been sent into Edward's account. The father was overwhelmed. Money he had never seen in his life was suddenly sitting in his bank account. At first, everyone thought things were about to turn around for David. Hope filled the air. But that hope was short-lived. Instead of using the money for hospital bills and kidney transplant, greed entered Edward's heart. He began to reason, why should I spend all this money on one boy when I can use it to enjoy life? After all, whether I treat him or not, he may still die. From there, Edward's life changed. He started visiting clubs, spending recklessly, buying expensive drinks, and chasing women half his age. He even bought himself a brand new car, something the entire village had never imagined he could own. People were confused, but since they believed the money was for his son's treatment, they kept quiet. Meanwhile, David's condition was worsening. The boy begged his father, crying day and night, "Papa, please use this money to save my life. People gave it to help me. Don't let me die." But instead of compassion, Edward poured insults on him. He told the boy to shut up and even cursed him. "If you want to die, die. Do you think I will waste millions on you? I better bury you and move on with my life." The neighbors started to notice that David had suddenly gone quiet. That was because the father, in order to silence him, locked him inside a small room. Nobody was allowed to see him, not even his siblings. His other children started suspecting foul play and tried to intervene, but Edward warned them never to question his authority. Then, the unthinkable happened. Out of fear that people might expose him, Edward decided to poison his own son. After drinking what his father gave him, David screamed in pain, and within hours, he was gone. The whole community was thrown into mourning. His siblings cried bitterly and openly accused their father. Word spread like wildfire, and people began to ask questions. Where is the money that was contributed? Why didn't you take your son abroad for treatment? It didn't take long before the truth came out. Witnesses testified how the father was living lavishly, and even some of his girlfriends confirmed that he had been spending heavily on them. The case was reported, and the police arrested him. The villagers trooped out in anger as he was handcuffed and taken away. His own children stood in court and testified against him. The evidence was overwhelming. At the end of the trial, the judge looked him in the eyes and said, "A man who can kill his own son for money does not deserve freedom. You are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment." And just like that, the once proud farmer who traded his son's life for fleeting pleasure ended his days in prison. A bitter reminder that greed and wickedness can destroy even the closest family bonds. My people, that is how David's life ended. Not because God failed him, but because his own father chose money over his blood. This